Hey guys, what's going on? Just wanted to do a little video here to talk about FUBO TV and kind of the opportunity I see coming up on this one. As always, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence to kind of see if it is something that fits in your portfolio. With that said, let's just kind of dig in here. We're FUBO is finally in a spot where they're starting to kind of set themselves up profitability in the next year or two. They've had kind of a big sell-off in the last couple of years, so we can kind of show that. Originally, they were kind of caught up in the hype of all the meme stocks in the end of 2021. I think they peaked around like $50 or $60, but at that point, they were really way too overvalued based on kind of where the business was at that point. They were massively unprofitable. They were sinking a ton of money into their sports book to do live sports betting on TV, and so really they kind of got away from that. If you've heard, they dropped the sports book. They're really just focusing on their core business at this point and gaining subscribers. So they kind of had a huge sell-off. They bottomed out around $1 earlier this year. They're currently valued. They're trading around 250 with a market cap of a little over 700 million. And given the fact that the revenues around like 1.3, 1.4 billion, it seems like a pretty good opportunity given how much they've cut their overhead, and they're kind of positioning themselves for profitability here pretty soon. They've been continuing to add subscribers. They're sitting right at about 1.2 million subscribers. And so you can kind of see in the last 6 months, they're really starting to get some upward pressure. So a lot of these, I mean, it's a pretty volatile stock, as you can see, but even now, because I think we're still going to see this continued volatility. If you can trade some of these waves, you can make a good, 10, 20, 30% within, a matter of weeks. So even for now, I think it's pretty good to play those swings. But overall, a lot of you have probably seen it, but even over the last couple of years, their Google Trends data, you can see they have some peaks and troughs here. It's pretty cyclical due to the timing of major sports events, but you can see some peaks here around like World Cup, and then recently in the NFL season kicking off this year. This big spike here, though, I don't know if you've heard, but there's some of that conflict between Disney and Spectrum, Charter Communications. And Charter ended up, with the blackout of all the ESPN channels, they ended up giving a discount and recommending FUBO to all their customers. So that's a pretty big catalyst here. I think they were forecasting for Q3 earnings about 1.3, 1.4 million subscribers. My guess is, they tend to sandbag a lot of these numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if they come up more in the $1.6 million range, just due to the Spectrum deal and all that. And granted, Disney and Charter did work out more favorable terms for them, but still, I think it was a pretty big catalyst and big mover for FUBO. But I think just given kind of where they've come from, their stock price pretty much bottoming out and them starting to show positive gross margin. They still have pretty heavy G&A costs and things that they need to cover, but now that they have a partnership with Ryan Reynolds and Maximum Effort with their own channel on there, I think they're starting to make some pretty solid progress here. And then so just kind of looking, this was the previous Q2 earnings that came out back in August. Their net loss, they significantly reduced that. They reduced that by 41 million, achieved 7% gross margin. Their average revenue per user, that's going up quite a lot. They're I'm really trying to upsell people into more expensive packages, and they've had some price increases. So I think we'll continue to see this. Their revenue is up 41% year over year. Yeah, so they're at the 1.2 million paid subscribers, up 23%. Um, they do have some international streaming, a company they bought in France called Molotov. Pretty small business. Their revenue was only 8 million there, but their core subscriber base is that 1.2 million. So business is looking up pretty well. But I think just given kind of where the stock price is at now with their $700 million market cap, I think there's a lot of upside to be had still. Like I said, I think we're still going to see some volatility and all these ups and downs, but I think kind of their low point is behind them now. Yeah, I think there's a pretty big opportunity here. If you guys find any value in this or want to see more content, I have a pretty good position in FUBO. Like I said, I've been trading some of these ups and downs, so it's been pretty profitable just due to the volatility. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more upward pressure over the coming weeks and months. And then long term, I think they have a lot of potential upside. So this is one I've been tracking pretty closely. If you guys have any questions or any other specific content you want me to dig into, just feel free to drop a comment. Yeah, FUBO TV.